Today I wanted to do a video about how great HDR is in Mass Effect Andromeda, and for a little while it was great when it first came out, and because it actually worked. Now that we have the 1.05 update, and possibly because of the Windows 10 Creators update, HDR doesn't work anymore. So you'll notice that when I have HDR off, I have the frame counter from the Nvidia drivers, and you'll see that HDR is off. So switching this back into auto detect, there are no other options. You can't just, hey, use this kind of HDR. Hit back to switch that on. And you'll notice the TV, the top right, has gone into HDR mode, but this isn't HDR. I don't actually know what this is. This is some weird kind of like in between HDR. And you'll notice it still says off. So this used to say HDR 10 when the game first came out, and it worked really well. In fact, it was amazing. The colors wowed me, and since the 1.5 update, it's just wrecked everything. Nothing seems to work anymore. The TV does go into HDR, but again, this is not how the game is supposed to look. If this was working correctly, I'd be able to go into graphics, screen calibration, and this brightness would be a special HDR brightness, not kind of regular brightness. So yeah, I don't know what's happened or what BioWare have done. To make matters worse, if you go into, say, Nvidia's drivers, which are down here, normally, so because I think now the creative update for Windows 10 supports native HDR, I'm trying to set this in Nvidia drivers, so now I'm using Nvidia's interpretation of HDR. Kind of doesn't really fix the problem either, because the TV will not go into HDR. I've just lost the cursor there for a second. The TV won't go into HDR, but the color does look a bit better. So if I try and re-enable this, so again, previously before the Windows 10 update, I would use the Nvidia HDR. And let's reapply this. So, okay, we've lost the frame counter again because it's supposed to be in HDR. And there we go. So it's now off. Still off. Doesn't say HDR 10. The TV is now hasn't been put into HDR mode, which is weird because it used to do that. Used to say HDR 10, but because I've lost the frame, the FPS counter, that kind of suggests that it is doing some sort of HDR, but nothing that we can actually see. So I don't know what the hell BioWare have done since the patch, just make an absolute mess of this. If you're saying to yourself, hey, I've just bought this game, I wanted to play HDR and it's not working, it doesn't look right, it looks too washed out, and that's because it is. It is washed out, it's not working, and I'm hoping BioWare fix it. I've asked them on Twitter to try and sort it out, but no response. So this is just a shout out to everybody to say, if you've just bought this game, hoping to use it on your HDR TV and looking for amazing color, it doesn't work anymore, and you're not alone, so I'm hoping they fix it pretty quick. So that's all I can comment on. If you have a way of fixing this or know how to get HDR back on the current patch, please let us know in the comments.